The first measure word is 只. 只 is used for all kinds of animals, but it's not specific enough. But there are measure words are for certain kinds of animals, and we will talk about those measure words in this episode too. But the first measure word, you can basically use it for all kinds of animals. Like if you forget the measure word for a certain kind of animal, and you can use this measure word 只 to refer it, and it is fine. I would say it is a convenient measure word because you can use it for all kinds of animal, but just not being very specific. You can see the upper part of this character. It is the radical pronounced dre. This radical has another meaning which refers to Abrivicauda, which means a group of birds. You can Google it to know in details about this group. So the measure word for birds, you can only use this measure word, 只. Examples of 只. 一只鸽子, 鸽子 means pigeon. 两只老虎, 两 means two. 老虎 means tigers. 三只螃蟹, 三 means three. 螃蟹 means crabs. The second measure word is P. P is specifically used for horses, donkeys, or wolves. But P is also a measure word for clothes, and the pronunciation will be different. If it's used for clothes, it would be P, the third tone. Examples of P or P. 一匹布, 一 means one, 布 means clothes. 两匹马, 两 means two, 马 means horses. 三匹狼, 三 means three, 狼 means wolf. The third measure word is 头. 头 is specifically used for animals like cows, pigs, or bears. The animals that are big, and we can see these animals that there is something in common, which is they are big. Like the animal mammoth, we can use this measure word to refer to it. A mammoth is 猛犸象. 猛犸象 is a mammoth, and we can use this measure word for mammoth. 一头猛犸象, a mammoth. Examples of 头. 一头猪, 一 means one, 猪 means pig. 两头大象, 两 means two, 大象 means elephants. 三头牛, 三 means three, 牛 means cows. The fourth measure word is tiáo. Tiáo is mainly used for fish in animal category, but tiáo is also a unit for counting legs and pants, and the pronunciation remains the same, tiáo. And tiáo is not only a measure word for animals or legs or pants, it can be used for things that they are long, but it depends. But the objects that are used this measure word have something in common, which is they are long. Long like noodles, long like a rope, long like a dragon, long like a towel. These nouns can use this measure word, 条. Examples of 条. 一条鱼, 一 means one, 鱼 means fish. 两条腿, 两 means two, 腿 means legs. 三条裤子, 三 means three, 裤子 means pants. The fifth measure word is 多. 朵 is used for flowers or something that is fluffy or mushroom-like, because 朵 is also a measure word for clouds and mushrooms, and its pronunciation remains the same, 朵. So we can see from these nouns that use the measure word 朵, they all have one thing in common, which is they all look like fluffy and mushroom-like. And there is a way to help you remember. When you see the measure word, the character 朵, you can see the word actually look like a flower or a mushroom. And you can see the bottom part is the character 木, and the upper part of this character, it looks like a hat. It looks like a flower too. So it's just like a drawing. So when you see this character, you can think of, oh, it is used for flowers or something that is fluffy and mushroom-like. You can remember this way by how the character looks like. It's easier to remember. Examples of 朵, 一朵云. 一 means one. 云 means cloud. 两朵香菇. 两 means two. 香菇 means mushrooms. 三朵花. 三 means three. 花 means flowers. The sixth measure word is 座. 座. 座 is used for mountains, but 座 is also a measure word for cities, infrastructure, such as bridges, stadiums, and no change on pronunciation. And there are tips to remember. 座 is used for things that they are big or have huge bases, such as a variety of infrastructures and mountains. And let's see the examples first. Examples of 座. 一座体育馆. 一 means one. 体育馆 means stadium. 两座桥. 两 means two. 桥 means bridges. 三座山. 三 means three. 山 means mountains. You can see the nouns that use this measure word. They all have one thing in common, which is they are all big and they have that huge bases at the bottom. And you can see the examples of 座 here. 两座桥 and 三座山, which are two bridges and three mountains. So you can remember in this way, like 座 is used for things that they are big and have bases. The seventh measure word is 棵. 棵. 棵 is used for trees, and there are tips to remember. You can see this character. There are two parts. The left-hand side part is radical 木, which means wood or tree. We already saw many characters that come with this radical 木. And the right-hand side part, which can mean fruits and seeds. So these two parts combined together form 棵. 棵. And 棵 is used for trees or the fruit trees. So these two parts, radical 木 plus the right part, which means fruits and seeds, combines together, it becomes 棵. And 棵 it can use for trees or fruit trees. So if you can remember the right and left parts of this character, it helps you to remember this measure word is used for trees and the fruit trees, because it has radical 木 plus the right hand side part, which means fruits or seeds, and it's pronounced 果. So when you see this character, you can think of, oh, the left part is 木 and the right part is 果, means fruits and seeds. So this measure word can be used for trees and fruit trees. And although we say 棵 is used for trees or fruit trees, but there certainly are some exceptions, such as, let's see the example here, a coral. Coral is not a tree, but it has a tree-like look. So we can use 棵 as a measure word for coral. So we can use 棵 as a measure word for 珊瑚 coral. Although coral is not a tree or a plant, but the way it looks like a tree. So in some cases, if something that looks like a tree, we can use this measure word, 棵两棵树两 means two, 树 means trees. 三棵柳树三 means three, 柳树 means willows. The F measure word is 株 is used for little or lower plants, and there are tips to remember too. You can see the radical mu appears again, so you can see that this measure word is also related to the natural things like plants. Examples of 株 is used for plants that are small. 一株小苗 It means one. 小苗 means plantlet. 两株花两 means two. 花 means flowers. 三株禾苗三 means three. 禾苗 means rice seedlings. The ninth measure word is 枝is used for tree branches or flowers with stems. And here the radical mu appears again. So this radical means wood and trees. It has a natural meaning. It's derived from the character mu. And once again, this radical is important. So we recommend you to remember this radical because it will be helpful for you to recognize some characters or the words. Examples of 枝 is used for things that are long or with stems, mostly used on plants. You can see the examples below. 一枝树枝 It means one. It means one. 树枝 means branch. So you can see the picture here. A branch that with some leaves, but the branch is not like big and thick. 枝 is normally used for small and thin branches. 两枝花两 means two. 花 means flowers. So you can see the picture. There are two roses with stems, with long stems, and some leaves. And so for this kind of flowers, we can use measure word 枝. The 10th measure word is 根 is used for things that are long and thin, such as plants with roots, threads, hairs, wood sticks. 根 itself, the meaning is the roots. But when it's a measure word, it is used for things that are long and thin and come with roots. So up until now, we can see there are many measure words that come with the radical mu. So basically, these measure words are all related to the nature. So you can see this is the group of measure words that are used for nature, like plants or trees and flowers. So you can remember the measure words by its group, and then remember the subtle differences between each one. Examples of 根一根烟一根烟 一 means one. 烟 means cigarettes. 两根香蕉两 means two. 香蕉 means bananas. 五根葱五 means five. 葱 means scallions. And last, we are gonna compare 根枝 and 枝 without the wood radical. 根 is used for something that's long or long and come with roots, like scallions. To count scallions, we use the measure word 根. So you can see when you get scallions in the market, and you see the scallions normally comes with roots. So something like scallions, you can use 根 as a measure word for it. And for the size, 根 can be small or big, thick or thin. And we can see more examples here, like a bean sprout. 一根豆芽一根豆芽豆芽 means bean sprout. Bean sprout is 豆芽. And so you can see 根 actually it can be used on small things like a bean sprout. And the next example is an eggplant. 一根茄子，一根茄子，茄子 is eggplant. Eggplant is 茄子, and eggplant it is thin and long, right? So you can use the measure word 根 for an eggplant. But I know some eggplants are bowl-shaped. So if it's a bowl-shaped eggplant, you use 颗, but for the long eggplants, you use 根. And a wood stick. 一根木头，一根木头，木头 means wood stick. Wood stick is 木头，木头 is a wood stick. The measure word 枝 that comes with the wood radical is used for something that's long and mostly it's wood related. And the size for the objects to use the measure word 枝 can be thin and long or short. More examples, such as a pencil. 一 means one. 铅笔 is pencil. A pencil is made out of wood, so it's wood related. So we use 枝 that with a wood radical. A lotus flower. 一枝荷花. 荷花 is lotus flower. But the lotus flower here means that the lotus that comes with the whole stem. It's not only flower, but with its whole stem. And the next measure word is 枝, the 枝 without a wood radical. This 枝 is used for something that's long, but not necessarily wood texture. And the size can be thin, long, or short. So we can see the examples here to make the concept clearer, such as a pen. 一支笔，一支笔. Pen is kind of a general word for something that is used for writing. And the pen here, we use this measure word 枝 that without a wood radical. A pen is made out of plastic, mostly, so we use this measure word 枝 to count the pen. A test tube, 一支试管, 试管 means test tube. Test tube is 试管. So a test tube, it can be made out of plastic or glass. So it's not wood texture. It's not related to wood. We use this measure word 枝 without the wood radical. And lastly, let's compare 颗, the 颗 with a fruit part, and the 颗 with a wood radical and fruit part. And 株, 株. The 颗 with the fruit part is used for solid and round things. This measure word we have mentioned in episode 1, and the object size that use this measure word can be big or small. Let's see more examples. A watermelon. 一颗西瓜, watermelon, 西瓜 is watermelon. A peel. 一颗药丸, 药丸 means peel. Peel is 药丸. 一颗篮球, 篮球 is basketball. Basketball is 篮球. A planet, 一颗星球. 星球 means planet. We can see these examples. You can see the objects. They can be big or small. Can big like a planet and small like a peel. So now you get the general idea of this 颗, what it can be used for. And the next 颗 we're gonna talk about is 颗 that with a wood radical on its left-hand side and a fruit character on its right-hand side. Is for trees or fruit trees. An object size for using this measure word can be big and tall. And let's see the examples. An apple tree. 一棵苹果树. 苹果树 is apple tree. 苹果 is apple. 树 means tree. So apple tree, 苹果树. And next, a Christmas tree. 一棵圣诞树. 圣诞树 is Christmas tree. So we can see the examples. This curve with the wood radical, it can use for trees and fruit trees, or that look like a tree. And the next measure where we're gonna compare is 株. 株 is for lower plants or flowers, like the little ones, little plants and little flowers. And the size for those plants and flowers, they can be small and short. Examples, such as a blade of grass. 一株小草，一株小草。小草 is blade of grass, like small. They are small and low. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And if our videos have helped you, don't forget, subscribe and like. And stay tuned for the next episode. See you next time.